Okay, everybody. Good to see everybody's getting on board here. A couple of things as before we get started is our December events. First of all, I want to show you. I want to turn on the lights. You see all the little green ones? The green thing. We could turn the lights on. Yeah, the end ones. We decorated the sanctuary. Hold on. So where's the flag? Oh, it's over here. Here. And the gold thing? Here. I'm gonna move it over. Okay. Okay. Oh, there should be three, right? Yes, so probably it needs to be over there. We don't have to turn it on now. It's okay, yeah. We don't have to turn it on now. But I'm gonna show everybody our tree. It's not lit up yet. Thank you, Crystal. So here goes our tree. And this is our remembrance tree. And I want to talk a moment about the remembrance tree. So the remembrance tree, and actually we were saying it was the giving tree, but really Spirit said, no, it's more a remembrance tree because really what it is, it's it's giving acknowledgement to our loved ones who are on the other side of the veil. You know, we're very connected to them and they to us, even though we may not have the same understanding in terms of a physical experience with them, but nonetheless, we are very connected to them. When we do pray and we do think about them, okay, they know that. And the same thing too, their love for us, somehow we get that as well too. So there's an exchange. So the idea of the remembrance tree is that it's donation based. We do have a suggested donation of $10, but it is a donation base for each name. And we put traditionally a white ribbon with their name on it. And then on Christmas Eve, and we're going to have a beautiful Christmas Eve candlelight service. So make your plans of your local, okay, and also too, it will be online as well too, so you'll be able to participate that way as well. But it's going to be at 7 o'clock on December the 24th, and after the service will be the beautiful calling of the names of our loved ones. And with each one, there is a vibration that Reverend Robin does do with her crystal harp, and a name of God is sung. A name of God is said. So it's just a beautiful ceremony, acknowledging our loved ones, making that connection in this special time of the year, which is about love and giving. That's what it's all about. So, and also during the time of the year when what happens when there's really great festivals or a thought form, if you will, where a lot of people are thinking about the same kind of thing, like this time of year, and that has been traditionally since eons of time, including, in the pagan ceremonies, the solstice ceremonies, then turn into the Christian ceremonies and various things from around the world, that there is a surge of energy this time of year. What you call the Maitreya or the Christ consciousness, the cosmic Christ opens up more. Portals open up more because of the consciousness of humanity thinking about, in our particular tradition, okay, the words of Jesus the Christ, who came over 2,000 years ago, about the idea of his birth and the redemption or renewal of humanity. That's a thought form that a lot of millions upon millions of people tap into that. Same thing too in other parts of the world, the Diwali and things like that, different cultures. Again, millions of people thinking about that. Those are energetic portals of light, okay, that hold that energy that is more intensified. So to do the remembrance tree and calling the names of our loved ones, and of course, generally it's around the holidays that we do think of our loved ones on the other side of the veil, that it is a very potent time to do that. So that's going to be available. That's going to be available actually starting this week. We just got the tree up. And so even if you're not local and you would like to have us call the names of loved ones for you, all you have to do is to email me. You would do the Cosmic Center osl@gmail.com and give the names of your loved ones. The website has a donation page, so you can do that to give a contribution for that. But we could do this both for people who are here physically as well as the people that are not here physically. So I wanted to let everybody know that. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to take a Christmas break and visit some family in Georgia, and my opportunity to kind of decompress and come into balance for the rock and roll 2025 that's coming upon us. So, all important to keep our balance, but we're going to have also, we always have our December 21st winter solstice. That's very important. Again, another energetic portal where we can align with those energies and put forth our intention of how we see the world moving forward, which of course is the golden age. So that's going to be on December the 21st. And what's coming up next weekend, where there's been a lot of happiness, joy, anticipation, is Dr. Hurtak. Now, if you're not familiar with Dr. Hurtak, okay, I recommend that you go to the Academy of Future Science. You go to keysofenoch.org. You'll have an idea as to what this is about. But I've been studying. I know Dr. Hurtak personally. I never knew that one day that would be a part of my life. It was just a thought many years ago, and now intricately involved with the Academy of Future Science. And this is the work of Enoch. That's why it's called the Keys of Enoch, Enoch/Metatron. So this is very powerful, advanced work. It is a multi-layered teaching, and so on 7 levels. So even though you may be reading it and you're like saying, I have no idea what I'm reading, at the same time, there's other parts of you that are comprehending that. And then it initially just goes ahead and it integrates into our understanding. So sometimes when you go back to read it, you have a whole level of understanding again. So that's pretty a big deal. As some of you may know, Dr. Hurtak and his wife, Dr. Desiree Hurtak, who is a noted scholar in her own right, and Alan Steinfeld, their friend, who has been doing reality TV for many, many, many years. If you go on his YouTube channel, he interviews just some really, really fantastic luminaries. Of course, Dr. Hurtak and his wife. And he's going to be here. He's very much about the remote viewing and also his interest, understanding, and interviews with people who've had extraterrestrial experiences. So he has done a very deep dive in that particular subject matter that he will bring his knowledge to this too. So this is going to be, it's in person only. It's going to be the this coming Friday, which is the 6th. It's the lecture at 7 o'clock. Then Saturday is going to be the workshop, which is called Christ Consciousness and Our Path to Ascension. And that's going to be at 1 o'clock, from 1 to 6 p.m. And then on Sunday is another workshop, which is the remote viewing part, which is going to be with Alan. And then there is going to be a learning session Q&A. So this is an opportunity to ask all the questions you really want to know from Dr. Hurtak. and he's been opening up way more than he has in the past. Before, he was very discerning about what he would share. He had to wait, it's the right time. There's a couple other things that are going on. A scroll that he was downloaded and had and wrote that had to be closed and is in Israel under the protection of Uri Geller. If you remember Uri Geller, he did the bending of spoons, and they have the Uri Geller Museum. That scroll was just opened. That just happened recently. And then we have 2025 is going to be the last of the 10 last keys that will be revealed. And then after that, there isn't more keys. So it's like, hey, what happens after 2025? So I'm just really thinking that between now and 2025, everybody feels and senses it's going to be some really quantum changes and so forth. And how wonderful it is that, we have sort of a heads up on that, that we're preparing ourselves spiritually. We just have some really good insight, as to how we move forward in the next 12 to 14 months. So if you are in a position to come, even if it's just for the lecture or one of the workshops, I would encourage you to come and have this wonderful experience. And let's see here. Everything else is our regular stuff that we do. So the big highlights is going to be the remembrance tree that we have available, our Christmas Eve candlelight service, our I didn't see that on here. Okay, that was left off. On the 21st, we are going to have our special Easter solstice, and of course the Hertax. Okay. Welcome. Very good. Sound is good. Thank you, Vonda. All righty. So those were some of the things that I did want to talk about. So let's talk about this. Just in an observation mode. And I understand people's personal decisions. And I'm going to share something that I shared with my son, actually. And it has to do in the world of duality and decisions. And, most recently here in the United States, there was a political election. We do not, as light workers, or particularly the Cosmic Center, get engaged into drama of that. However, what I am seeing and what Divine Mother had said back in 2010, the extreme polarities where I am witnessing again relationships and friendships breaking up, relationships with couples breaking up, people leaving the country, and it's this playing out in front of our eyes, this extremeness of the dualities that she spoke about. And again, as I observe this, the best thing that we can do, and this is what I was talking to somebody about the other day, there's going to be other people that do that and engaged in whatever, and it has its place. But I would want to say that for light workers, okay, one of our main objectives in that scenario is for us to hold the balance. We cannot say I'm on this side or that side. From a long time ago, male, female, smoker, non-smoker, veteran, non-veteran, all of those things, okay, we cannot engage in the polarity of what that is, because the fact is that it's a trap. It's a trap. And I saw this many, many years ago. Some of you know, I saw this tube like a lava lamp, but it was horizontal, it was going like this. The idea was it to be balanced, so the higher beam of light, if you want to say that, or the higher energetic come in and create that perfect triangle. But right now, we're not in that perfect triangle. We're like this, and it's trying to head. So us as light workers, okay, our job is behind the scenes. Okay, we're the ones that understand that we're multidimensional. We're the ones that understand that we definitely do have power, and our power is in our consciousness, and our power is in our thoughts. Okay, and we can choose to say, I'm going to stay as a neutral observer. I'm going to hold the polarities in balance, just as Mother Mary had asked us to do, because I know by doing so, I'm able to make time shift or timelines change. And where we are right now, okay, we want to bring all these multiple timelines that are happening at the same time. You could be speaking right next to somebody, they have a completely different reality, or you can see something that they can't see. That's how different it is, but it's coexisting all at the same time. So you have to know that sometimes you can't convince anybody of anything because it's not their reality or they don't have the resonance feel to make the connection to understand. We have to know that that's okay and release it. All we need to do is stay in okay, our resonance of the higher heart of compassion, unconditional love. Okay, the idea of not getting engaged into the lower frequencies of duality, try as much as we can to be the neutral observer into the oneness of it all. Because when you look behind the scenes, and we talked about this on Sunday, which was what, yesterday? Oh my gosh, I think like a week went by. Yesterday, Sunday, was, right, Clark, was kind of the same theme. Okay, the idea that we are now to the point of this higher parts of ourselves that we can focus on the healing of ourselves, that the things that are blocking us or has been a wound or has been uh binding us, okay, that now we're in an opportunity, okay, to be released from that, let that bubble up to release it, to get and operate on a regular level, that higher vibration of the neutral observer that is just holding the frequency of love on the planet. That is a huge, huge contribution to the divine plan, because you are that kind of resonator. And at first, you got to wrap your mind around that, like, what, who, me? Who, me? Of course, the program has been ever since you were born. What can you do? Who are you? Who do you think you are? Okay, what kind of power do you think you have? And then it takes a lot to break out of that mindset. It does. I had self-esteem issues like for decades until I began to know who I was. I'm like, wait a minute. That is, I like this word. Carrie Kay uses the word, I like it, the false matrix. The false matrix. And so, what's important to know that as we begin to come into alignment with our higher self, ideally consistently, okay, as we become aware of those things that we need to heal, or those things we need to forgive, or those steps that we can improve ourselves as a human being, and as a radiant being of light, as we become now really, really conscious. And in an anchor light, it talked about the nano increments, little nano increments of change. Okay, it starts to move you into this position where your cosmic memory comes back. You're like, wait a minute, I think I remember this. Okay, I really think I remember. And then the communication, okay, between the higher realms and you, that veil gets thinner and thinner as you go up, and it comes to that connection is made all the time. All the time. And no matter what's going on in life, your life then becomes easier, no fear, tapped in, knows exactly what to do, or knows that at the end, everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. Because as I had a discussion with somebody, and they talked about their past and the struggles and this, that, and the other, and maybe choices they had made looking back now, we've all done that. Okay, where, oh, wow, I would have made different choices. But I said, at the end of the day, okay, all things work for good for those who love God. All things work for good at the end of the day. And that's when we have to come into self-acceptance. That's when we have to come into self-forgiveness. And that was the key notation yesterday's Sunday service. was really digging down, deep down into not only forgiving others that we perceive that have hurt or wound us, or that we're carrying ancestral patterns, okay, of woundedness. If you look at the history of the world, need I say anything else? Okay, but also one of the hardest things to do for some people is the self-acceptance of self and the forgiveness of self. And as I've always said in the commandments, it says, love thy neighbor as thyself, meaning self-love is a requirement and all that goes along with that. So all of that is going to help us to move forward in the days and weeks and months to come. And as I've always said, I'm very excited about the future. I am so excited about the future. I am. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is now where we begin to really be able to shine, to hold that light. This is the time. This is the time that we have been preparing for. So many years ago at an anchor light says, light workers, take your positions. Like, yeah, take your positions, and up whatever way that is for you, it's time to take your positions. We're all being called to step up and report for duty. That's basically it. All righty, we're going to get started now.